Are you over the age of 60 and noticing that your muscles just are not what they used to be? Maybe climbing stairs feels heavier, carrying groceries is more tiring, or even your favorite hobbies feel harder to enjoy. Many people believe this is simply part of getting older. But here's the truth. Losing muscle is not just about age, it is about biology. And the exciting news is that you can reverse this process starting at your very next breakfast. Here is what is really going on inside your body. After the age of 50, something called sarcopenia begins to accelerate. Sarcopenia is the gradual loss of muscle tissue and strength. It is not only about appearance, it is directly tied to your metabolism, your energy, and even your risk for chronic disease. When you lose muscle, your body burns fewer calories at rest. That means fat gain becomes easier, blood sugar becomes harder to control, and energy levels start to dip. Muscle is not just for athletes, it is the very engine that keeps your metabolism young. Now, one of the biggest myths out there is that the only way to fight muscle loss is by lifting heavy weights for hours in the gym. Resistance training is important, of course, but what the research shows is that nutrition, specifically what you eat first thing in the morning, plays an equally powerful role. Your first meal of the day literally sets the tone for your muscles, hormones, and metabolism for the next 24 hours. Think of it like this. Your muscles are like a sponge. When you wake up, that sponge is empty and ready to absorb. If you give it the right nutrients, it soaks them up and signals your body to build strength, repair tissue, and burn fat more efficiently. If you skip the right nutrients, the sponge stays dry. Over time, that means more weakness, more fat storage, and a faster aging process. So today I want to break down the root causes behind age-related muscle loss and then show you how one simple food, when added to your breakfast, can dramatically change the trajectory of your muscle health, even after 60. We will cover the hormones involved, how your liver and insulin play a role, why timing matters, and the science-backed food strategies you can start right away. By the end of this talk, you will not only understand why your body loses muscle with age, but also exactly what to do to reverse it. And the best part, it is not about supplements or complicated diets or extreme workouts. It is about giving your body what it already knows how to use in the right way at the right time. So let us dive in. When most people think about organs that control aging, they think about the heart, the brain, or maybe the liver. But what the research is now showing is that muscle itself functions like an organ. It is not just tissue for strength and movement. Muscle is metabolically active, meaning it communicates with the rest of your body through tiny messenger molecules called myokines. These myokines influence everything from how well your immune system functions, to how efficiently your brain clears toxins, to how your body burns fat. Here is what is really going on inside your body after 60. As muscle mass declines, the metabolic signals that keep your body youthful begin to fade. Your insulin sensitivity weakens, your blood sugar climbs more easily, and fat begins to accumulate around the midsection. This is not simply cosmetic. That extra fat produces inflammatory hormones that accelerate aging in your blood vessels, your joints, and even your brain. The result? Higher risk for diabetes, heart disease, dementia, and frailty. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your muscle as the furnace in your home. When the furnace is strong and burning, the entire house stays warm, balanced, and safe. But if the furnace shrinks and weakens, the whole house begins to cool down, drafts creep in, and systems stop working efficiently. Your muscle is that furnace. Lose muscle, and the whole house of your body begins to decline. Maintain or rebuild muscle, and you preserve the warmth of your metabolism, your energy, and your longevity. What the research shows is that maintaining muscle is directly tied to living longer and living better. A large study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that adults over 60 with higher muscle mass had significantly lower risks of mortality, independent of body weight. Another study in The Lancet highlighted that grip strength, a simple marker of muscle function, was one of the strongest predictors of future health outcomes, even stronger than blood pressure in some cases. The key takeaway is this. After 60, muscle is no longer about vanity or athletic performance. It is about survival and vitality. When you protect muscle, You protect every other system in your body. Now, here is the empowering part. You do not need to build the body of a young athlete to capture these benefits. Even small increases in lean muscle can reset your metabolism. Just a few pounds of regained muscle mass translates to hundreds of extra calories burned per day, better glucose control, and stronger resilience against stress. Think of it as putting money back into your metabolic savings account. So, as we move forward, I want you to keep this image in your mind. Your muscles are not passive. They are actively speaking to your hormones, your liver, your immune system, and your brain. If you give them the right fuel, especially first thing in the morning, you switch those youthful signals back on. And by the way, if this kind of science-driven, practical explanation is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every single day to help you take control of your health naturally. Here is something most people do not realize. Muscle loss after 60 is not just about weaker muscles. It is also about a deeper metabolic shift happening inside your body, particularly in how your liver and insulin function. Here is what is really going on inside your body. When you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. Insulin, a hormone made by your pancreas, acts like a key that unlocks your muscle cells, allowing sugar to move inside and be used for energy. But as we age, and especially if we lose muscle mass, those cells become less responsive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance. When muscle is smaller and weaker, there are fewer doors for insulin to unlock. Blood sugar lingers in the bloodstream, insulin levels stay high, and fat storage increases, especially around the liver. This is where the liver steps in. The liver is your central hub for energy regulation. When insulin resistance builds up, the liver becomes overloaded with sugar and begins converting it into fat. Over time, fat deposits build inside the liver itself, a condition called fatty liver disease. What the research shows is that fatty liver and insulin resistance accelerate muscle loss by sending signals that block muscle protein synthesis, the very process your body uses to repair and build lean tissue. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of insulin as a delivery truck carrying fuel to your muscles. When your muscles are strong, the truck can unload quickly at multiple docks, and the system flows smoothly. But when muscle mass is reduced, it is like half the docks have been shut down. Trucks back up, deliveries stall, and the warehouse, your liver becomes congested with excess fuel. Eventually, the whole system breaks down. Now here is the critical insight. What you choose for breakfast plays a major role in either supporting or sabotaging this system. A typical senior breakfast, toast, cereal, fruit juice, sounds healthy but actually drives blood sugar and insulin spikes, worsening resistance. Over time, this combination quietly erodes muscle while fat builds up in the midsection and liver. But here's the good news. When you start your morning with high-quality protein and nutrient-dense foods, you flip the switch in the other direction. Protein signals your muscles to activate protein synthesis. It lowers the demand on insulin, helps stabilize blood sugar, and gives the liver a break from being overloaded. In fact, studies published in Nutrients and Diabetes Care have shown that older adults who consume higher protein breakfasts have improved insulin sensitivity and greater muscle retention compared to those who start the day with carbohydrates. The takeaway is simple. Your liver and your muscles are partners in your longevity. Support your liver with the right foods, and it will keep your muscles stronger. Strengthen your muscles, and you reduce the burden on your liver. That partnership starts at breakfast every single day. So, as we go deeper, I will show you exactly which food has been studied to turn on this muscle-building switch in a way that is both powerful and sustainable for people over 60. Most people know that protein is important for building muscle. But what often gets overlooked is that when you eat protein can be just as critical as how much you eat. After 60, this timing becomes even more important because the body's ability to use protein efficiently, a process called muscle protein synthesis, actually declines with age. That means you need to be more strategic about when you give your muscles the raw materials they need. Here is what is really going on inside your body. Overnight, your body goes into a natural fasting state. You burn through stored energy, break down a small amount of muscle for fuel, and wake up in what scientists call a catabolic state. In simple terms, your body is breaking down more than it is building up. If you skip breakfast or if you start your day with mostly carbohydrates, you extend that breakdown period. The result is more muscle loss, more fatigue, and less efficient metabolism throughout the day. Now, here's the flip side. If you start your morning with high-quality protein, you immediately flip the switch from catabolism to anabolism, the building and repair mode. Think of it like hitting the on button for your body's muscle machinery. Studies have shown that older adults who consume at least 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast experience significantly greater muscle protein synthesis compared to those who eat the same amount later in the day. This is because the morning window is when your muscles are most sensitive to protein after an overnight fast. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you are running a construction site. The workers show up early in the morning, ready to build. If the delivery trucks bring materials first thing, the workers get to work immediately and the building grows strong. But if the trucks arrive late in the afternoon, the workers are already tired and far less gets built. Your muscles work the same way. Deliver protein in the morning and your muscle building machinery is maximized. Deliver it late and the effect is weaker. What the research shows is striking. A paper in the Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who evenly distributed protein across meals, with emphasis on a high-protein breakfast, had 40% greater muscle-building response compared to those who ate most of their protein at dinner. Another study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that front-loading protein intake in the morning improved muscle retention and strength in older populations. Here is the practical takeaway. Do not save protein for later in the day. If you are over 60, your breakfast should be your most protein-rich meal. This single shift can have a profound impact on your metabolism, energy, and ability to hold on to lean tissue. And if this is connecting for you, if you are realizing just how powerful these small daily changes can be, I encourage you to subscribe. I share practical, science-driven strategies like this every day so you can stay strong, lean, and energized naturally. Up until now, we have talked about why muscle is critical for longevity, how insulin and liver health play into muscle loss, and why protein timing in the morning is essential. But now I want to get very specific, because the question you may be asking is, what food should I actually add to my breakfast to stop muscle loss and start rebuilding? Here is what the research shows. The single most powerful food to add is eggs. Now, I know eggs may sound simple, even old-fashioned, but when you look at the science, they are one of the most complete and effective muscle-supporting foods you can eat, especially after 60. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids, including a particularly important one called leucine. Leucine is the amino acid that directly triggers muscle protein synthesis. Think of leucine as the ignition key for your muscle-building engine. Without enough of it, the car will not start, no matter how much total protein you eat. Here is what is really going on inside your body when you eat eggs in the morning. The leucine signals your muscle cells to begin repairing and growing. The high-quality protein gets absorbed quickly, providing the building blocks for new tissue. And the healthy fats in the yolk help stabilize blood sugar and support hormone production, including testosterone and estrogen, which both decline with age and influence muscle strength. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine trying to build a house. You need both materials and a construction crew. The protein in eggs provides the materials, the bricks, and the wood. But leucine is the foreman who tells the crew to get to work. Without the foreman, the materials just sit there with leucine present. The building actually goes up. That is exactly what happens with your muscles. Multiple studies confirm this. Research in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that leucine-rich foods like eggs are particularly effective in stimulating muscle protein synthesis in older adults compared to lower leucine protein sources. Another study published in Nutrients highlighted that consuming eggs at breakfast improved satiety, stabilized blood sugar, and supported lean body mass preservation in older individuals. Here's another overlooked point. For years, people avoided eggs because of cholesterol fears. But modern research has largely debunked that myth. For most individuals, dietary cholesterol does not significantly raise blood cholesterol. In fact, eggs contain important nutrients like choline, which supports brain function, and vitamin D, which is essential for muscle health. So rather than harming you, eggs are actually one of nature's most nutrient-dense muscle protective foods. The practical step is clear. Aim for at least 2 whole eggs in your breakfast, paired with another protein source if possible, such as Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a small portion of smoked salmon. This combination not only maximizes your leucine intake, but also balances your breakfast with protein, healthy fat, and micronutrients to stabilize energy for hours. So, if you are over 60 and you want to turn back the clock on muscle loss, start with something as simple as cracking 2 eggs into your morning. It is a small habit with a massive long-term payoff. When we talk about muscle and longevity, it is impossible to ignore hormones. Hormones are the body's chemical messengers, and after 60, they become even more important because many of them naturally decline. What you eat for breakfast can either help balance these hormones or throw them further off track. Here's what is really going on inside your body in the morning. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, naturally peaks shortly after waking. This is normal. It is what helps you feel alert and energized. But if cortisol stays too high for too long, it begins breaking down muscle tissue for energy. That is the opposite of what you want if you are trying to preserve or rebuild muscle. Now, here is the connection. A high carbohydrate breakfast, such as toast, cereal, or fruit juice, spikes blood sugar, which then spikes insulin. Cortisol and insulin together create a metabolic storm. Insulin locks fat into storage, while cortisol drives muscle breakdown. Over time, this pairing accelerates sarcopenia, increases belly fat, and leaves you feeling tired and hungry just a few hours later. But here is the flip side. If you start your day with protein-rich foods, you blunt the cortisol curve. Protein stabilizes blood sugar, which keeps insulin lower. At the same time, protein provides the amino acids your body needs to support hormones that actually build muscle, like growth hormone and testosterone. Both of these are crucial for maintaining lean tissue, strength, and energy as you age. Think of it like this. Cortisol is like fire in a fireplace. In the right amount, it warms the room. But if you throw the wrong fuel on it, like refined carbs first thing in the morning, the fire flares out of control and burns down the house. Protein, on the other hand, is like steady logs that keep the fire warm and balanced without destroying the structure. Research backs this up. A study published in Metabolism found that individuals who consumed higher protein breakfasts had significantly lower cortisol levels throughout the morning compared to those eating carbohydrate-heavy meals. Another study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that protein intake helps maintain testosterone levels in older adults, supporting muscle mass and physical performance. So here is the practical takeaway. If you are over 60, your breakfast should not only include protein for muscle building, but also for hormone balance. Aim for at least 25 to 30 grams of protein, ideally including leucine-rich foods like eggs or whey protein. Pair that with healthy fats, such as avocado or nuts, to further support hormone production. When you do this, you are not just feeding your muscles. You are calming cortisol, supporting growth hormone, and protecting testosterone or estrogen balance. You are literally telling your body it is time to build, repair, and stay young. We've covered the science, why muscle is essential for longevity, how insulin and liver health influence muscle loss, why protein timing matters, the unique power of eggs, and the critical hormone connection. Now let us put it all together into something you can use tomorrow morning. A simple step-by-step breakfast blueprint designed specifically for people over 60. Step number 1. Anchor your breakfast with a leucine-rich protein source. This is non-negotiable. The goal is at least 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. The simplest option is 2 to 3 whole eggs, which deliver leucine and complete protein. If you prefer variety, add Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a scoop of whey protein in a smoothie. These choices ensure your muscle-building machinery switches on first thing in the morning. Step number 2. Add a supporting protein partner. Eggs alone provide a strong foundation, but pairing them with another protein source maximizes the effect. For example, scrambled eggs with cottage cheese on the side, or an omelet with smoked salmon. This combination helps you easily reach the 30-gram protein target without overthinking it. Step number 3, balance with healthy fats. Remember, hormones like testosterone and estrogen are built from cholesterol and fats. Including half an avocado, a handful of walnuts, or a drizzle of olive oil ensures your hormones have the raw materials they need to stay balanced. Healthy fats also keep blood sugar stable and extend satiety through the morning. Step number 4, choose smart carbohydrates, but keep them controlled. You do not need to avoid carbs completely, but they should play a supporting role, not the starring role. Opt for half a cup of berries or a small portion of steel-cut oats if you tolerate them well. These choices provide fiber, antioxidants, and steady energy without spiking insulin. Step number 5, time your hydration and micronutrients. A glass of water with a pinch of mineral-rich sea salt can help rehydrate and support electrolyte balance, especially if you are physically active. Adding a cup of green tea or black coffee can enhance fat burning and alertness without disrupting insulin levels. For micronutrient support, consider adding leafy greens into an omelet or smoothie, boosting magnesium, folate, and vitamin K for muscle and bone strength. Step number 6, make it repeatable. The secret is not perfection, but consistency. Find 2 or 3 breakfast combinations you enjoy and rotate them. That way, you remove decision fatigue and build a rhythm that locks in your muscle protecting habit every single morning. Here is what this might look like in practice. 2 eggs scrambled with spinach, topped with avocado slices, paired with cottage cheese and blueberries. An omelet with smoked salmon and olive oil, served with a side of Greek yogurt and walnuts. A protein smoothie with whey protein, almond butter, spinach, and half a banana for taste. Each of these breakfasts hits the muscle-building protein threshold, supports hormone health, protects your liver, and stabilizes your energy for the entire morning. So tomorrow, instead of starting your day with toast, juice, or cereal, try one of these blueprints. Notice how much stronger, steadier, and more energized you feel. This is not just about breakfast. It is about signaling to your body every single morning that you are still in growth mode, not decline. We began today with an important truth. Muscle loss after 60 is not inevitable. It is not just a symptom of aging. It is a signal of what is happening inside your metabolism, your hormones, and your nutrition. And with the right steps, you can reverse it. Starting tomorrow morning, here is what we uncovered. Number 1, muscle is more than strength. It is an organ of longevity, sending signals that protect your metabolism, your immune system, and even your brain. Number 2, insulin resistance and liver overload accelerate muscle breakdown, and the wrong breakfast makes this worse. Number 3, timing is critical. Morning protein has a completely different impact on muscle growth than protein eaten later in the day. Number 4, eggs. One of the simplest foods are also one of the most powerful tools you can add to your breakfast because of their leucine content and complete nutrient profile. Number 5, hormones like cortisol, growth hormone, and testosterone respond directly to your first meal, and a protein-rich start keeps them in balance. And number 6, a simple breakfast blueprint rich in protein, healthy fats, and controlled carbs is a repeatable way to stop muscle loss and rebuild strength every single day. Now, why does this matter? Because muscle is the currency of healthy aging. It determines not just how you look, but how you move, how you burn fat, how you think, and how long you stay independent. Protecting your muscle is protecting your freedom. And it is never too late. Even after 60, the science shows that your body is still responsive. Your muscles are listening. You just need to give them the right signal. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for toast, cereal, or juice, build your plate around protein. Crack 2 eggs, add a partner protein like yogurt or cottage cheese. Bring in some healthy fat, and finish with a small serving of fruit or greens. Do this consistently for the next 2 weeks. Track your energy, your focus, and even the way your body feels when you move. You will be amazed at the difference. And remember, this is not about perfection. It is about direction. Every breakfast is a new opportunity to turn on your body's muscle building machinery, stabilize your hormones, and protect your longevity. If this added value to your day, I invite you to like this video and subscribe. I share content like this daily, translating the latest science into simple, actionable tools you can use to stay strong, lean, and energized naturally. Together, we can make the second half of life the strongest, most vital chapter yet. So, start tomorrow morning. One plate, one habit, one decision. Reverse muscle loss. Reclaim your strength and give your body the message that it is never too late to grow.